Well, happy Sunday, everyone. This is Kendal from the Crossing Church, and since we are unable to meet at East Ridge High School this morning because of the hurricane, I thought we could have a virtual church service. I want to just bring a brief reflection to point your eyes and mind toward Jesus together. I want to take you to the book of Ecclesiastes. It's in the Old Testament. If you have a Bible, go ahead and turn there. If you don't have a Bible, download an app called YouVersion. Put it on your phone. It's an excellent app. It's got all sorts of Bible study tools, and it'll serve you well. So I want to look at the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3. Ecclesiastes was written by Solomon, who also wrote the book of Proverbs that goes right before it. And I want to forewarn you that it's kind of a depressing read, and you'll see what I mean here in just a minute. So Ecclesiastes chapter 3, I'm going to start in verse 18. This is what Solomon writes. I also thought about the human condition, how God proves to people that they are like animals. For both people and animals share the same fate. Both breathe and both must die. So people have no real advantage over the animals. How meaningless. Both go to the same place. They came from dust and they return to dust. For who can prove that the human spirit goes up and the spirit of animals goes down into the earth? So I saw that there is nothing better for people than to be happy in their work. That is why we are here. No one will bring us back from death to enjoy life after we die. Now, as I was reading this passage, that last verse just really jumped out at me. No one will bring us back from death to enjoy life after we die. And as I'm reading it in my brain, I'm going, well, wait a minute. That's not true. Scripture says that someone will bring us back from death to enjoy life after we die. But here's the thing you have to know is that Solomon is writing 1,000 years before Jesus. And in Solomon's day, their concept of heaven was relatively undeveloped. They knew there was a heaven. They knew that God was in heaven, but they didn't have any idea what it was like. And you know why that is? It's because the one who told us what heaven is like is Jesus. Jesus is the one who revealed to us what it's like to be with God. Jesus is the one who told his disciples, don't be worried, don't be afraid. In my Father's house are many rooms, and there's plenty of room. And if it weren't that way, I would have told you. And by the way, I'm going to prepare it for you. And when it's all ready, I'm going to come back. And I'll get you so you can be with me where I am. Jesus is the one who said, I'm the resurrection and the life. And whoever believes in me will live even after dying. And everyone who lives in me and believes in me will never, ever die. Who has said it? There are almost 300 verses about heaven and about the life that comes to us through Christ in the New Testament. And Jesus spoke half of them, and then the other half came from his disciples who Jesus taught. See, Jesus is the one who reveals to us that there is hope now and hope after we die. Now here's what I think about when I read this verse in Ecclesiastes. No one will bring us back from death to enjoy life after we die. There are people all around us who are kind of living the book of Ecclesiastes right now. They're thinking, you know what, you live, you work your tail off the whole life, and then you die. And then for what? It's all meaningless. And yet we have this good news that says, no, it's not meaningless. Because Jesus actually can do what Solomon wanted someone to do. There is someone who can bring us back from death to enjoy life after we die. It is Jesus. And so here's my challenge for you today is just reflect on the depth and the riches that we have through Christ and the promise that he made to us of life now and life after we die. And if you don't have that life, if you've never taken the step to follow Christ, well, I urge you to start asking questions, start making explorations. Maybe you'll start by reading through the Gospels, the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They tell the stories of Jesus in the beginning of the New Testament. And we at the Crossing would love to have a conversation with you about taking next steps on your spiritual journey. Matter of fact, next Sunday, September 9th, we're launching a new series called What's Your Next Step? Discovering God's Vision for your life. And in a nutshell, let me spill the beans here. Here's God's vision for your life. First, that you will know him. That you will know him, that you'll experience his life, that you'll join him in partnership in his work here on earth, and that you will spread the good news that there is someone who can bring us back from death to enjoy life after we die. There's someone who has told us what Solomon didn't know 3,000 years ago. But we know now, and we have this good news, and Christ calls us to share it with others. So with that, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. It's a beautiful day, unlike we were expecting, and so enjoy it, and enjoy it in the knowledge that through Christ we have this future that is bright and beautiful and filled with hope, and we can experience part of that now. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you next Sunday, 10 a.m. at Eastridge High School.